The following program is rated D for dumb.
Smell my own breath. My baby left me. My best friend's not at home. Can't get that woman off my mind. I've never been the brooding kind, but there's still one thing makes me come alive. Yeah, I'm gone for a drive.
The following podcast is rated D for dumb. You're listening to Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast on earth. Listen to Dave commute to and from work on the New York State Thruway in his 2008 Kia Rio LX. He talks about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Join Dave as he asks and tells you how life ought to be. And now, here's Dave.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Dave Canyon. Are you ready to dumb it down? Well, that's good because that's why I do the show. I do the show because you want me to dumb it down. That's all I know how to do. People have asked me, why do you call the show Dumbing It Down with Dave? And I said, because if I called it Raising the Bar with Dave, there would be expectations. And I can't have that. I can't have you expecting anything. So let's keep the expectations low. Let's dumb it down. Let's get right to it real quickly. I think I have a lot on my plate, and I want to serve it up to you as fresh and as hot as possible. Real quickly, of course, thank you to Alex Exum, who provides the voice at the top of the show. AlexExum.com also does live talk on Tuesdays at 10 p.m. And when he gets around to it, one of these days, he'll do the Exum Experience. These are all podcasts you can hear on Spreaker and other platforms as well. The AI voice you heard at the top of the show, that is provided to you by Linda Irwin of Awesome Insanity Surfers. Thank you, Linda, very much for all the AI voices and your support. I appreciate it, of course. And then there's Hal in Philly. Hal in Philly, Going for a Drive. That's a song. Hal in Philly has two podcasts you can listen to. That's Hal Aaron, by the way. You can listen to Tales of the Road Warriors on Stitcher and other platforms as well. Or you can listen to It's Easy When You Know How. I think I'm up to date on all his podcasts. I think I heard the last couple of Easy When You Know How's. I might have missed out. Maybe I have to get to it. But it's always interesting to have something to look forward to. It's always interesting to listen to. It's a very light and breezy, the Easy When You Know How. It's a light and breezy, shorter episode. Much easier to digest than 30 minutes of Dumbing It Down with Dave. High carb, Dumbing It Down with Dave. I like to think I trimmed the fat, but I'm not sure if it's true. By the way, it is November 24th. It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, I started a little bit late last night. I had a 5-hour delay. And anyway, this and that. I moved a couple of trailers at the end of my shift, which was fine. I only moved 2. My company is in disarray because of the holidays. It's interesting because they put themselves into disarray. Instead of just doing what they do, they're trying to do everything. Well, it's understandable. They do this every year. They try to do what they can before the holidays so drivers or whoever can be off on holidays, and probably more because so the stores can have their supplies, right? All of that. So they're going crazy. So today is a Sunday, but at my job, I guess it's a regular day. People are out. They're delivering milk like it's a Monday. So I guess they're pushing all the days over one day. Anyway, so I moved. But last night they had a problem. As they get all crazy. They get all chaotic. There's a storage issue. There's a supply issue. Somehow every year we do the same thing, and yet somehow we never seem to be prepared. But that's this company, and it's always in some sort of craziness, insanity, disarray. But that's not really what I want to talk about. That is not the show I want to do.
Dave, dear, this is Emma.
Yes.
This is not the show you wanted to do.
I know, that's what I just said. That's why I look to you to jump in to tell everybody, because when I say it, I don't know if they believe me. When I say it, they think, oh, Dave just says that. No, Emma said it. It's legitimate. All right, so let's get to it. I got like 4 or 5 topics. I want to quickly get to it. First of all, of course, I want to thank you all for listening. I want to thank you all for supporting, and some of you share, some of you tweet, not some of you, maybe just a couple of you. But anyway, I'm not going to go down that road. Thank you for all that you do. I appreciate it. Just want to quickly mention Pat Mason, who comments often. And the other day, he actually, and I appreciate that, of course, all that. But he actually said on Facebook, and I don't get a lot of mentions on Facebook. So you can imagine my surprise when I'm driving down the road. And I also go, Patrick Mason mentioned Dumbing It Down with Dave, whatever, on Facebook. I'm like, really? Well, that's interesting. Why would he do that? Normally, he just shares, the episode. I post it, then he shares it, which is great. I mean, if I had 300 people, my supposed friends in quotations, that would do that, that'd be great. 100 people, 50 people, if 25 people, 5 people did, I'd be like, what? Who are these 5 people? Wow, all of a sudden, 5 people. No, it's usually just Pat. Actually, there's another guy named Patrick Marurki. I think I'm pronouncing his name right. I actually have been very irresponsibly neglective of mentioning his name. I think it's Patrick Marurki. You know what? I've never really actually studied his last name, but I know he's Patrick, and he's always very supportive. He's the husband of a wife of a stand-up comedian. I performed at a show in Nutley, New Jersey called Pat's Place. But I don't think it's his Pat. I don't think he's the Pat. That's Pat's Place. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. Maybe he is the Pat in Pat's Place. I don't know. But I did a comedy show down there. They let me do 15 minutes to start the show, and I think I did okay. And Pat's always been very supportive of my comments, even though I think on certain political things we disagree. But he always writes nice things about me on Facebook, which is nice. Like I said, and the guy barely knows me. He barely knows me. Most of my kindness has come from strangers. People who know me don't seem to want to be nice to me, except when they get to know me. Then they're nice to me for a while. Then they fizzle out. I expect all of you will eventually fizzle out and find something else to do. That would make sense to me. Anyway, so Pat made a mention that he didn't do it officially, but he did post it. He wrote that, and I don't have it queued up, but he wanted to vote for me for best podcast for the iHeart-Radio-podcast-awards, which are coming up. I think they're coming up. I think they're tonight maybe, or next week, or maybe they passed. I don't even know now. Now I forget, but I had it all queued up, and I looked into it. So first of all, thank you, Pat, and then Jeff Warner, who posts a lot here. He also posted the same thing, that they wanted to nominate me or vote for me for But you can't just do that. You can't just post on Facebook and say, that's a vote. It's not a vote, But they posted, which is great. I mean, how many listeners do I have? I go on Spreaker. Sometimes it looks like I have 30. Sometimes it looks like I have 60. Sometimes I have 200. I don't know how this works. I have no idea how many listeners I have. All I know is what I see in the Spreaker box. Nobody tweets me at Dumb with Dave. Nobody emails at dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. So all I can do is go by the Spreaker box. I have 3 or 4 people that listen to the show. I don't know where Spreaker gets their numbers from. And apparently I have an article to read about Spotify. There's a way of figuring out. There's a way of figuring it out. But you think I got the time to do the espionage, the NSA work, or whatever. What's that organization? I don't have time for covert operations. Just tell me how many people I got. But it's hard. I think it's hard to measure and all that other stuff. Anyway, so Pat wrote and Jeff wrote when they wanted to vote for me for iHeart-Radio Best Podcast, which was very nice. And I said, well, that's interesting. Let me look into that. I knew about it because I hear the commercials, then I forget about it. So, yeah, I don't know if people are allowed to vote for that. And if they would, I would just tell you, hey, you can vote. But I wouldn't make a thing of it. I've had friends, and some of you know who they are. They go on and on, vote. You need to vote. I need you to vote. Please do this. I need to be, blah, blah, blah. And when I was a stand-up comedian, oh, my God, I need to be in this festival. Please vote every day. Vote early, vote often, blah, 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 blah. Oh, my God. It's like, listen, sweetheart, Are you funny? Then you'll make a career of it. If you're not funny, you're going to go to the wayside. I can't be bothered every day with voting. It becomes like a whole thing, like tending to a baby. Like, oh, I got to change the diaper every day. Every 3 hours, I got to change the diaper. All right, am I back? All right, by the way, you don't know this, but somebody just called me. My dispatcher at my job just called me and interrupted my whole flow. That's the second show in a row. Did I mention it's raining, by the way? Can you hear it? I knew I was alluding to something before. I just left, when I started the show, I left the Walmart parking lot, and it's pouring out. It's very rare, that, by the way, I think last night it snowed a little bit. There were salt shakers out. You know what a salt shaker is? The guys on the road, they spread the salt. Spreading salt, it's raining, but I guess they expected it to freeze. I never saw it freeze. But anyway, so that's the weather in New York on November 24th, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's pouring. It's pouring, and it's raining, and you can hear it. But it very rarely rains in New York. 99% of my shows are sunny and often hot. Even though it's 50 or 60 degrees, in the vehicle that I'm driving, whatever vehicle I'm driving at the time seems to be hot. All right, 11 minutes into the show. So anyway, I looked into it, and I looked at the shows that are nominated. I didn't look heavily into it. I was in my phone. I was like, let me go to the iHeart-Radio podcast website. And I was like, well, you know what? It would be nice for the exposure. Yeah, it'd be nice to be nominated and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. So thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Pat, for mentioning me on Facebook. It's very nice. It did not catch fire. It's not like everybody goes, yeah, that's great. I know Dave. I remember Dave from high school. Yeah, Facebook Dave. Yeah, we should vote for him. There's no lightning in a bottle. Nobody cares. That's my story, and I appreciate anybody and everybody that does anything for me, but I can tell you this right now. I will go to my grave, and nothing will ever happen. That's just the way I am in a place in the universe where I'm hidden away. And I have all my friends in show business that are also hidden away. I am in a certain part of the world that is somewhat talented, but yet hidden away. I will be your best kept secret. Yeah, I'll be like your Good Rats. Most of you probably haven't taken the time to listen to the Good Rats, but my Good Rats were like my Zeppelin, my Rolling Stones. They were a great Long Island, New York, New Jersey, tri-state area band that never made it out of the area. I mean, supposedly they toured. I don't know all the details. But they have like 8 to 10 albums, and the lead singer passed away. The founder, writer, lead singer, Pepe Marcello, passed away. He was the head of the Good Rats. He was everything. He could have called the band, Pepe Marcello, but anyway, he called it the Good Rats, and he had great musicians in the band. They played, 100 nights a year, 200 nights a year. They toured. I think they opened for Journey and Kiss and all these other bands, but just never. And they were on Arista Records for about a minute, for 5 minutes, for a day, and Clive Davis really liked them. And apparently the story is Clive Davis, does what he does, and he wanted to change some things, and Pepe was like, you ain't touching my music, you ain't touching my songs. And then they had a falling out, and that was the end of the Good Rats and Arista Records. But I think there are some actual vinyl albums out there you'll see where they're on Arista, but they're not being printed anymore by Arista. Anyway, so that's a little quick Good Rats history. But you can go on YouTube, but it won't do it justice. You got to listen to the vinyl. You got to listen to the CDs. You got to listen to the Blue Double Live album. That's the one. I mean, there's the Tasty album. There's the Blue Double Live album.
Dave, dear,
I know,
this
Emma.
is Emma.
I know.
This
sorry.
is not the show you wanted to do.
I know, but I get this. It's the Good Rats. I'm trying to make a point. All right. Anyway. So thank you. Thank you, Jeff and Pat. So then I'm at the Planet Fitness yesterday, and I'm working out. I'm on the treadmill, and when I'm on the treadmill, it's just as bad when I'm driving a truck. I'm just like looking forward. I'm looking up, I'm watching the TV, and it's like, oh my God, left wing CNN, right wing Fox, and this stupid other shows about wives being swapped and cooking, and there's just the Lifetime channel, the Hallmark channel. It's just so depressing watching American television. Horrible. Thank God I got my phone and I got YouTube, which is also potentially horrible and depressing. But I did start to watch Batman for some reason with Christian Bale. I don't know which one it was. I don't know. One of the first ones, I guess. I don't know. And I really don't know which one it was. I'm not into the whole Batman thing. Maybe that inspired me. I don't know, because Bruce Wayne is very independent, very opinionated, very wealthy, very handsome, like I am. So, maybe that inspired me. But I got off the treadmill and I went to stretch. And it just, I just started thinking about how nice it was that Pat had said that. And I was thinking about, wow, I wonder, maybe next year, I'm going to write something, I'll get nominated. I don't know how it works. And then it just came over me. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, no, now I remember what it was. I'm sorry. This is going to take up half the show. I remember thinking, okay, I did a Dave's Fit Life about this, by the way. For those of you that don't know, I have a YouTube channel called Dave's Fit Life, and I did an episode yesterday right after my workout. And here's how it all started. Now I remember how it all started. The Batman thing might have inspired me, but I eventually, this is what happened. Years ago, when I was at Planet Fitness, I had a piece of paper and a clipboard. It was a piece of paper made by Planet Fitness, where it would list all your exercises. Bench press, military press, curls, leg, dumbbell, blah, 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 all these things. And you would put in your weight, you would put in your reps, your sets, or whatever, and you put in your settings. So, because each machine is custom, you set your machine. I want to set it at a 7, with a 3, and a 5, whatever, So you know where to put the pins. You know where to put how much weight you're doing, and you know where to put the pins. All right. That's what I used to do. And it worked for me. I lost 65 pounds. I went from 291 down to 225. I ran half marathons. I felt great. That was the best shape in my life. Best shape ever. Well, then I let everything go, and time went by, and I went back to 291. I stopped running half marathons. I've been fighting depression and all this other stuff, obesity, all this ridiculous high blood pressure, pre-stroke, pre-diabetes, all that stuff. Well, I go to the Planet Fitness because I want to get back on the machines, and I bring the paperwork. I actually saved it. Sometimes hoarding is good. I say this, hey, I said personal trainer, Jabari, I think his name is. I said, hey, I want to do this again. I want to get back to this. I figured I'll go to you, the personal trainer. We'll go over the machines and see if anything's changed and make sure I got the proper form and I'm doing it right. I don't hurt myself. I just want to utilize what I'm paying for. Personal trainer, $10 a month. You get one at Planet Fitness. And he says to me, oh, yeah, okay, well, but hey, let's do some kettlebells first. Or whatever he said to me. Hey, you'll get a much better workout this way. And I'm like, but that's not what I asked for. But I did it because I was like, what do I do? I froze. I don't know what I did. I can't even tell you what I did. All I know is I just went along with it. Like, oh, okay, we'll do kettlebells. I said, but we'll get to the machines. Oh, yeah, no, we'll get to the machines. But, let's just do the kettlebells. So I did a couple workouts with him. He's got this schedule, at this Planet Fitness in East Greenbush. And, whatever it is, legs, thighs, shoulders, it doesn't matter. I got to tell you, I'm not enjoying kettlebells because it's not an exact science. I got to have proper form. Like the machine just goes up and down a track, whatever. You know how machines work, right? Nautilus machines, whatever. But kettlebells is like, oh, if I don't do the proper form, I'm going to have kettlebell elbow or whatever. I'm going to make a mess. But I did it for a couple of weeks, and I guess when you do it with him in a class. But then I got 3 other people. I got to share my space. I'm working out with other people. What am I supposed to do it until I learn how to do it myself? Like CrossFit? You know what? I did it. I did it for a couple of weeks, and then what happened? I went to Italy, and then I went to Podcast Movement. I haven't been back. Okay. Oh, yeah, I blew up the fit. All right. So, long story short, yesterday, after Pat and Jeff said what they said about iHeart-Radio, thank you very much. It's nice that you thought of me and that I should be voted for best podcast. Thank you. Believe me, I'm the furthest from the best podcast. I am like one of the crappiest podcasts. You guys need to really listen to a lot more podcasts to really understand. Because one day you go, oh, you know what? Dave is right. Oh, his podcast blows. I'd much rather listen to this guy. Oh, yeah, there's like a million guys way better than me. Way better production, way better content, and just better. Better. I know because I've heard them. And I try to emulate them a little bit, but I can't do it because, sleep deprived and brain degraded. Plus, I'm just not that talented. I'm not that funny. I'm not that smart. I just ramble off at the top of, the top of my head, the edge of my tongue, tip of my tongue. So, I'm stretching after my 1 hour workout. I'm stretching. I got a little bit of that Batman, Bruce Wayne inspiration. I got Jeff and Pat in my head with their comments. I'm thinking, why am I doing kettlebells? I don't want to do. I said, why did I let this guy get over on me? Hey, Jabari, I want to do the machines. And if you're not going to walk me through the machines, then screw you and screw Planet Fitness. I mean, I can't really screw Planet Fitness. I can't afford it in another place. And I don't know what else is in the area. This is really like 3 miles from my job. So Planet Fitness is really good for Dave's Fit Life. But I started getting like really angry. Like, why did I let him do that to me? When he said to me, okay, well, we'll get to it. Let's just do kettlebells. I'm like, I should have said, I'm sorry. What part of what I said did you not understand? I don't mean to be a DICK, but I just said to you, hey, here's my piece of paper from 7 years ago. This is all my numbers and measurements. I want to resume this, but I want to resume it with supervision, a little guidance, little personal trainer help. You seem to be in some shape, not like me, round, obese, legally. I didn't contest it. Just went along with it like a moron, like sheep. I got really angry at myself yesterday. I did a Dave's Fit Life where I apologized to my audience, which is consists of about 1 or 2 people, and I apologized to myself. I'm going to go home. I hope I'm on the way now. I'm going to find that piece of paper. I'm going to make a copy of it. I think I already made some copies. I know I gave one to Jabari because I thought he was going to examine it and we were going to get to it, but he probably tossed it. And I'm going to see if they have blanks at the Planet Fitness when I go back. If not, I'll just get some white out and I'll just do it myself. I'm just going to back to the machines. This is what I know. I know the machines. The machines are on a track. Up, down, done. Left, right. Push with your legs. Bend at your knees, whatever. I know how to do the machines. Why did I let this guy talk me into kettlebells? I stood there going, why am I doing kettlebells? This is stupid. All right. That got me thinking, because I was in a rant in my own head in the corner of Planet Fitness on a Saturday night all by myself, probably looking like a psychotic. And then I said to myself, iHeart-Radio, F iHeart-Radio, screw iHeart-Radio. I don't need their validation. I don't need to be voted best podcast. You know what? If that's how you feel, Pat, then that's the truth. If that's how you feel, Jeff, that's the truth. If Linda feels a certain way, that's the truth. If everybody on Spotify who's listening, I don't know why people are listening, and I don't know who's coming back. I only see a few people commenting. But if you like it, then it's best enough. That's the award I want. I don't want any award. But if there was to be a fictitious award that I would create that had nothing to do with the corporation known as iHeart-Radio, then it would be best enough. I'm best enough for today. And episode 171 was not best enough for Jeff, but it was best enough for Hal. He thought it was hilarious. Episode 175, is this best enough for today? It's a best enough for today. I'm going to keep on going. Next couple of days, I'll do 176 on my way back into work. It's going to be 2 a week because of Mile High Radio, Mile High, HIRadio.com. Mile High, HIRadio.com. They play my show every Monday at 11 a.m. to noon. Thank you, Lynn, and thank you, Bobby, for doing that, playing an hour of Dumbing It Down with Dave. That's just enough of the best enough. How about that? Just enough of the best enough of Dave Canyon. Best enough podcast. Exposure, yes. I guess it would be good, how do I get there? Wherever it is. Do I fly? Red carpet? I mingle? I end up being guests on other people's shows? Whatever. But I look at the list, I go, these are all corporate. These are all corporate podcasts. What does that mean, Dave? Why would you say so? Nobody knows what that means, corporate podcast. It means they're not just some guy like me. It's like in the Oscars, there's independent film. Well, there's some documentaries and some independent filmmakers that do very well. But let me tell you something, folks. There's a lot of independent movies you never see. A lot of independent movies that never make it to a theater. A lot of them. A lot of them enter these festivals. Can I enter my podcast in a festival? Yeah, if there ever is to be one. But I got to tell you, other than the exposure, and even then, there's a part of me that just doesn't care. I've already been exposed, thanks to Jeff, to a whole bunch of people And I know I sound like I say that in a bad way. I was enjoying my private life. Okay. But anyway, I am grateful to new listeners. And if everybody tells 2 friends like Jeff did, and so on and so on and so on, then yeah, I'll have 5 listeners, then 10 listeners, then 20 listeners. And then forget about it. The listener comment section will be out of control. I'll be spending a lot of my time responding to comments. It'll be great.
Dave, dear, this is Emma.
It's over.
This is not the show you wanted to do.
Well, we're 25 minutes in, Emma. We're 25 minutes in.
Dave.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
I know. Hi, Hazel.
This is Hazel.
Oh, that's what I said, but go ahead anyway. How are you? What's going on? What can you tell me?
I think you should take a drink break.
I need an alcohol drink break. That's what I need.
Feeling better now?
A little bit. That was just clear water, but alcohol would be good. Thank you, Hazel and Emma, and thank you, Linda, for the AI voices. I appreciate that. So, screw iHeart-Radio. Screw exposure. Let's just do what we do. Let's just have this relationship, and let's move on. I can't be thinking about iHeart-Radio. I can't be thinking about some podcast festival in Seattle or Portland or wherever. I'll go to the podcast movements. I'll go to these expos. I'll meet people. I'll mingle. But what I need is time. I need time and, well, I could use some money. But I need time and I need clarity. I need some sleep and clarity. Time, sleep, and clarity. I need a shed. I need time and sleep and clarity and a shed, which is another way of saying studio, where I can sit down and do this show with a little bit better production value. And maybe I can go live. Wouldn't that be great? I'm going to live and die on my own sword of me, on the sword of Dave, not on am I the best podcast. And if you look at the categories, it's interesting, but there's a lot of interesting categories. I don't know where I fit into any of that. And I don't want to fit in. This is not that type of show. And I'm not an award type of guy, by the way. Remember how a long time ago I said I'm not a miss you type of guy? I'm not an award type of guy. I never got into this for the award. I got into this for my sanity, to keep my sanity. So I could do something in the car other than drive and look out the window and listen to horrible AM, FM radio. All right, 27. So that's it. Thank you, Pat and Jeff. I really do appreciate that. And if there's a way, then fine. But if there's no way, then it's not fine. Then I'm not interested. I'm not interested in driving myself crazy. And I'm not interested in driving you crazy. Guys, can you vote for me every day? Every day, can you vote for me? Because it's really important that I win. Ugh. No, let's just do this. Tell your friends and share. That's an award. You know, that's what you're saying. When you post, when you share, and somebody listens to my show because of you, that's an award. I'd rather have that on my mantle. I don't even have a mantle, but if I had a mantle, do I have a mantle? I might have a mantle. I think my DVR box is on I think my cable box is on my mantle. I think so. And a picture of my grandma Frida. I think so. Maybe my DVD player. I'll take a picture of it, maybe. No, I'm not. I'll take a picture of it. I'll post it on Facebook. Is that a mantle? I don't know. Maybe it's a mantle. I should know if I have a mantle. I think I'm mantle free. I really don't know. So, yeah, I don't know what I was saying. Let's just move on. Don't worry about iHeart-Radio. Don't worry about winning awards. Just share and tweet and listen and comment. That's my reward. That's my award and that's my reward. I'm putting out an effort. You guys are appreciating it. We have this relationship. We exchange ideas. We exchange comments and ideas. And the last couple of episodes have been great. I'd love to do an episode right now where I just go to the comment section. I didn't know I was going to get all hung up on this. Not doing the show I wanted to do. Well, it's on my list of things to talk about. I actually did it's on a post-it. I got a post-it on my finger right now. It's kind of stuck to my finger. It started off as the list of 2 trailers that I was supposed to move today, which I did. And then I said, I got some ideas that were popping in my head, so I wrote them down. Guys, I really appreciate everything you do. Thank you for listening. I hope the sound was good. I hope I'm not yelling. Nobody's been complaining about the sound, so I'm assuming the sound is good. Thank you for participating and dumbing it down with Dave. As soon as I can, I'll get to the next episode. Thanks, everybody. Have a great wherever it is you are. Be great. Thank you. Thank you for listening to this episode of Dumbing It Down with Dave. Goodbye, good day, good night, good luck, good riddance, Godspeed, good racks, and great skills. Take care.